What it is, what it is. What it is and what it isn't. What it is and what it isn't.
Good afternoon or evening.
Is that James Brown?
It is.
James Brown.
It is.
It is. Right, right.
It's from the Book of Brown.
Right. Oh,
Book of Brown, chapter 1, verse 1, where it says what it is and what it is.
Right. People don't know what that is.
Hey, Glenn, I can't see you. That's really good. I don't have to look at you.
Oh, you're funny. You're funny. My beauty shines through even in the dark, so I'm not worried about
well, look, the last time I was with you, I couldn't see you because I had lost my damn glasses.
That basically, that was your fault.
Yeah, never found them either.
You never found them?
Nope. I did realize where I thought I left them. And then when I called back, it had been some days. So they were like, nope, we ain't got them.
Did you check the pawn shop around the corner?
Did I check the pawn shop? I was in Batavia, so I wasn't getting ready to go all the way back out there. I was going to ask them. Look, I was going to ask them to send them to me anyway.
I was all set to drive you home when I couldn't get nothing from the pawn shop for them.
Man, look, what was so funny is I found that pair of sunglasses in the glove box, and they had the gradient. So I had to drive home all the way like this, looking through the bottom part of the. And I'm gonna tell you, man, the street lights are not abundant out there. So I do not think that I would have been able to drive that almost 90 minutes back home, without any glass. Huh? No, it wasn't. But no, I was in Batavia, but they don't really have a lot of.
Yeah. They don't have them. Yeah.
Dude, I'm like, oh my God.
That's true, TJ.
Right. Yeah, she probably got reading glasses though. I needed some long. I can see up close. I can't see far away. How y'all doing, man? How's your week been? It's actually been 3 weeks since we've seen each other because we weren't on. Since we've seen each other in this format. So because we weren't on last week. Yeah. I kind of missed y'all too, even though I got a chance to see Glenn at the nuptials of our dear friend Martha Chavez.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Congratulations, Martha. Congratulations.
Yeah, congrats. I am still, man. I took so many pictures. I am still working on that.
Are you really?
I'm finally in the reception pictures, right? I haven't got to the reception pictures.
That's funny. I keep shifting because I'm trying to find better.
Move back. Yeah, move back.
Or just jump out that window behind you.
Move back on the other side of the door and then close it.
Right.
Y'all want the ratings to go down. I don't want to be on. Hey, Sean, we got an announcement. You should make the announcement. Season 2.
You know the details better than me. What is our broadcast date? April 24th? Is that what it is?
So April 6th.
April 6th. See? That's
season 2 of the Morning Roast is coming to you on WGN, and we're not going to be at 4:30 in the morning this time, guys. We are going to be at 6 a.m. Decent time. Some of you are awake already. Some of you wake up to pray.
It's going to be like 12 more people going to be awake.
Some of y'all waking up to pray. Some of y'all waking up to go back home.
Go back home. That's what I was about to say. Some of y'all taking that walk of shame around.
Walk of shame. That's what it is. A walk of shame.
Grab your keys. Don't let your panties hit the street floor.
Hey, some of y'all just getting in from the club.
You know who you are. We ain't gonna call you out today.
Ain't even gonna change clothes before you go to church.
Yeah,
we know how you get out.
We're not gonna call you out.
Do the bird bath. Do the bird bath.
Do the bird bath.
Robert, hit them hot spots at least.
Hey, as high as possible, as low as possible, and don't forget possible.
Damn. You know the three. You know them 3 spots.
That was good, Rob. High as possible, low as possible, and don't forget possible.
Well, it ain't no longer possible if you're leaving there.
Right,
it's a done deal.
Right. Don't go up in the joint smelling like a hot onion.
Not onions. Ooh.
I'm gonna be like Mel and take myself out in a minute.
Hot radishes. Don't do that. But yeah, man, I missed y'all, man. Good to see y'all. I hope that
what up, Eric?
In the time that we've been away, good things have happened for you all. Glenn, what is going on with you?
Looking like Max Headroom over there.
No, you look like you pop locking.
Yeah.
I'm not pop locking, guys. I'm good.
Okay.
Stay put. Don't move.
Hey man,
Don't move.
before I jump into anything, anybody got anything else they want to announce besides the fact that season 2 at a new time is coming? Anybody got
Season
anything?
2 is going to be phenomenal. Share it. You're going to love the show. You're going to love the set. The new time. We took that channel from 800 Nielsen views to over 30,000. Over 100,000 total views that they've never had before. So that 6 o'clock spot, I expect us to blow that past 250,000 with no problem.
Hey,
let's get it. Let's do it.
You know,
you guys did a great job. Great job.
And we owe that all to our audience. So we thank you all for supporting and rocking with us.
Yes.
All this time. So continue to tell your friends, your boyfriends, girlfriends, everybody. You know.
Yeah. And we need to recommit to our own promotion as well, so that we can take advantage of all of our social networks. And you know, I have a lot of my friends that support, as I'm sure you guys do as well. And so thank you all.
I don't have any friends.
That is true.
For the people you know.
We agree you don't have friends.
If you're on here now, share it.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I need to do that right now.
Yeah, I just realized I'm usually on the backside sharing. I'm like, man, what's going on with the numbers? Like, I didn't share it myself.
I hadn't even done that. So.
But didn't I share in this link, Roger?
Yeah. Share the link. Yeah. Share it to your page. I mean, I'm hitting like 15 different groups. So
okay.
Yeah, but I'm sharing to my Facebook page.
But let's get some topics. I'm gonna get started. I want to see what's going on.
Come on.
I'm not here often, so take full advantage of all this wisdom and these facts that I'm going to bring.
I can't connect.
Well,
I forgot. Okay, well, I won't be able to stream to my page. Somebody share to my page if y'all got it. I forgot that I changed my Facebook password and stream.
You forgot?
Yeah.
You forgot something? Sean forgot something. Go
whatever. Hey man, before I come out guns a blazing, I want to ask you about this topic that I saw, and I actually, in Mel's absence, I actually have one or two topics from Mel, but this thing I came across, and let's see, Robert, you have a little bit of experience that you could share with this, and so do you, Roger, and Glenn in a non-linear way. But I saw a young man saying that he felt like, especially by teenage years, if you are in a situation where you are co-parenting a male child, that male child needs to be reared by his father.
Yep.
And he was 100% committed to that idea. And I'm sure that is with the understanding that the dad is a productive, member of society and doing things the right way. But do you guys, and I'm going to ask, Roger, you only have a daughter, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask you first.
But me and my it's just my brother and I with my dad. If that's any.
Yeah. And I know Robert has at least one son. I don't know if he has a grandson as well, but I know he has grandchildren. But
yeah, I have grand boys. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Roger, what do you think about that? I mean, I stand on the outside because I do have the, not to be offensive if it would be experienced that way, I do have the good fortune that my parents were together, throughout my childhood, and they were together until my mom died in 91. But what do you think about that?
A father being.
Remember, it's a co-parenting situation. So
co-parenting situation, and should he be involved in raising the child? No,
he should be 100% the primary parent for a boy child.
Yes, all things being equal. I hate we always put these equalizers on everything from parents to police to teachers to whatever. But let's just assume both of them are great, beautiful parents, and they just didn't work out. Yes, there's definitely an advantage to him being raised by his father. The formative years specifically are things that his mother will not be able to teach him, and there are things that he won't be able to observe intrinsically that if he's just watching his father and how he operates and how he moves, handles business, handles relationships, handles his household, those are things that he will not observe that my brother and I did observe with my father. And so, yeah, there's some things she can teach, and it's not taking anything against somebody that is just happen to be a single parent, but we're not talking about that.
Right, exactly.
So yes, I do think that it should start with the dad as much as possible, and maybe mom gets him on weekends. I know that's going to hit hard, but I think that's the reality.
I don't think it would hit so hard if we were talking about daughters and it was reversed.
No,
you know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, and it does. You know, I had a conversation with my dad. Now my parents are a little bit up there, so I check on them less than I used to. I was up to hitting out there 3 times a week. But I told my dad, even, I was like, listen, you have to understand, everything I'm doing for you, I'm doing because I watched what you did for your father.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But when I'm out here checking on you, checking on the bills, checking on whatever it is, I'm doing that because I witnessed you take care of your dad.
Absolutely.
And so, and it also means he's a little bit more receptive to me, you know, when I'm like, hey, Dad, let's throw all the stuff on automatic payments. Let's you know, he's 80. I'm like, let's do this so you don't have to worry about it. Or call me when you're in the yard and stuff. Start trying to move, you know, chop down trees in the backyard and stuff.
Yeah.
But all those things came because, you know, my dad rarely told us to do stuff. It was just observing him being a great dad.
Yeah. Because the impact of the dad, I don't think can be questioned, even though people try to question it. But when it's a 2-parent household, then you don't have to prioritize that way because he's present in the household. Right. At least should be. I mean, it might be different. You know, how he's experienced might be different, but he's still present in the household. I think it's significant if daddy coming and going, and that's all you see him do is coming and going because he working and, you know, making money for the family. It still has an impact. You know what I'm saying? My father worked afternoons, so I primarily saw him. He waited at home till I got home from school so he could leave to go to work. And then I'm in bed by the time he gets home at 12:30. So I really saw him primarily on the weekends, you know. But I understood why, you know, and I understood that he was working. Robert, what would you say about that?
I'd echo what Roger said. My dad worked 2 jobs, 2 full-time jobs.
Yeah.
So, you know, he came home to, you know, eat a meal, you know, that my mom would prepare. Mm-hmm. But after that, my dad was going back to his second job, you know, at night. And like you, Sean, he didn't get home from that job until, you know, 1 o'clock in the morning. Mm-hmm. And he would bring us food, mm-hmm. you know, so we were always excited to see him because there might be some ribs or some burgers or something that was smelling up the house. Yeah. But one of the things that my dad did when, you know, because I played league ball, and so my dad couldn't necessarily, you know, be there for those things. So my mom would do that. But, you know, I was a bowling back in the day champion. And my dad worked at a bowling alley, mm-hmm. at the bowling alley. So I got a chance to spend time with my dad. But the question that you asked mm-hmm. is around, you know, should
parenting situation when both parents aren't in the same household.
Yeah. So I think there's some validity to that. I think there's some strength in that. And for people who don't have it that way, if they have uncles that, you know, can help out in those situations, you've got to use, you know, the uncles to help out as well. But mm-hmm. I strongly believe that there's some value in having me take care of my son Brian, mm-hmm. you know, all the years that, you know, that, mm-hmm. that he was growing up.
Yeah, I think and I'm going to catch some flack for saying this. I think a woman, we've seen it over and over. Women are amazing. They're incredible. They're gifted in ways that we aren't gifted. So we're clear that a woman can raise a boy child. But I also think that a boy needs to see a man to be able to emulate a man. He needs to be able to see he also needs to be able to see the hell that a man catches just because he's a man. He needs to see all of that. And the way that he does that is by being in the presence of a man, you know, especially a man that is fathering him or mentoring him or, you know, caring for him. So Glenn, what are your thoughts, man?
Well, you know,
in his disappearing And yeah,
But-
he
but-
didn't want to answer the question. He
You
just
know what? Very timely there.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
let me say something about that before Glenn comes back
Mhm.
in. But I think that my son didn't necessarily see the struggles that I went through as I was coming up in corporate America,
Mhm.
et cetera, because I didn't want him to see that I was being beat up in corporate America by other races
System, right?
because of the color of my skin or something like that. He didn't see that. Those are things that I talked about with my dad,
Yeah,
right? Some of the struggles that I was having with the corporate jobs and people treating me a certain way. My son didn't necessarily see that. All my son saw was that I was going to work every day and bringing home the money and making sure that the lights were on.
yeah. It's funny that you would say that too, because there's a commercial that I hear every morning when I'm getting ready to go to work, and I can't think of what the commercial is for. But the guy's basically saying that he never saw his dad, struggle or have a hard time with anything, and that he parented very different. He wanted his children to see him struggle because he wanted them to also see him overcome the struggle. And I think that is poignant as well. I think that one of the reasons they need to see that, they need to see that everything doesn't go smoothly. Everything you don't win every battle, and so you also need to see how your dad responds to his defeats and how he picks himself back up. And Glenn, before you come in, Roger doesn't seem to like that idea, so I want
it's not that I don't like it. It's my brother and I were talking. It's really weird. We never saw our dad. In hindsight, we know now things that he was going through at different times. Teaching at University of Tennessee to a 100% all white, college class, and the what he had to deal with and put up with. But during the time we were growing up, I don't actively recall ever seeing my dad struggle. I don't even recall ever seeing any disagreements or him sharing with my mom challenges he was having at work. I think they had those discussions maybe, behind closed doors in the bedroom type thing. But he was able to still instill in us, do your work, be who you are, don't let anybody push you over. And through doing that, it still kind of prepared us because, up until I got to corporate America, I've been fortunate enough and a little bit different than I guess some average individuals that kind of, especially Chicagoans, you guys kind of stay in Chicago and really exit. But I've lived in 4 or 5 different states. I've never been in an all-black community or really an all-white community until like maybe right at high school. So I've been exposed to a lot of different cultures. But when I got to corporate America and I was the only black man out of about 150 men at a manufacturing plant, and I was doing reliability, and I'm responding to the vice president or reporting to the White House. Then it started to hit me, and I'm like, well, what is this craziness? I'm like, y'all, I did the job. Where's this coming from? My dad actually worked at the same place and had the same issue, but simply because of what he taught me, it hit me, but it didn't hurt me. So it was kind of weird. I never saw him struggle, but I saw his strength. So since I consistently saw his strength, then I didn't necessarily need to see that. And I don't know why he chose not to share it. And I never heard about anything until after I was an adult. Then he'd be like, oh yeah, I remember I had this issue. I had that issue. So,
well, I think we also have to respect the fact that errors often dictate our behavior. And so your dad's era was similar to my dad's era. And I think that they probably felt like they were protecting you by keeping those things from you. Whereas, modern day thinking is I can't send my son out into these fights blindly. He's got to understand what's waiting for him out there so that he knows how to defend against them and how to, resist them. So I think some of it is era specific. I think they did what they were taught to do.
Yeah, definitely. My daughter hit 14. My wife and I stopped. We never really sugarcoated, but we definitely don't censor anything now in our household. Right. So she's fully aware of anything I'm dealing with, things I've been through, and she sits and watches the news with me now.
Sometimes so you don't want her getting no surprises. While she's moving around without your covering, you have to prepare her for what she might encounter without mom and daddy's covering. So
Yeah.
Glenn, what did you have to share? I don't think you had.
Yeah, and I grew up in a all women household, which was interesting, but it gave me a different perspective too. And there's a lot of respect for women who have to raise sons to be men
It
without
was so hard to not crack
perspective.
when you said that, Glenn. It was. I want you to respect the restraint that I
Really,
exhibited. Right? Yeah.
I do respect your
That was a
restraint.
layup. That was a layup, and I
If
didn't.
you could only keep that restraint throughout the show, that would be wonderful.
I can't make any promise.
As I was saying, it was difficult because the perspective that I grew up from was very different. But I know my mother went through a lot in terms of having to work, having to go through some things, and she shared some things at work with me, and the microaggressions, and you learned about them before they were called microaggressions, things like that. And I learned it in Roger's Point. I mean, I grew up corporate America. We called it Jackie Robinson complex when I worked at Leo Burnett, because you play either the only, or the first. Yeah, the first.
You gotta take all the lumps.
Yeah.
You know, the ones coming behind you. You know.
Yeah, and it's amazing because, and this subject came up. Joe Rogan mentioned something the other day, and he called Corinne Pierre identity hire because he didn't like the job she was doing. And Roland Martin brought this up. He's like, it's okay to not like the job she's doing, but don't try to relate that with a code word saying she's African American, because there's plenty of people that look like him that were totally incompetent in jobs, but we didn't call them identity hires.
Right.
Yeah.
He just made another comment that was nothing but racism close.
Yeah, it's the whole, let's call it woke, let's call it identity.
Right, exactly.
Let's blame everything and kind of shove it into a coded word. That's the new, N-word, basically.
Right.
Is what it is. So, she taught me a lot about just corporate America. She taught me a lot about, people are going to BS you. That's going to happen. But you have to let them know you don't appreciate their BS. Yeah. They may get away with it, but you can let them know that they didn't get away with it.
Right.
That you recognize.
They may have pulled it off, but you were well aware of what they did.
Well aware of it. And those are lessons that I took with me. Yeah. And, as my dad entered my life, I learned even more just about the difficulties of being a man. And we talked about that. We've had some really in-depth conversations of what would I do if I was my dad in that position? I probably would have done the same thing. So it made me respect him even more that he came back, he apologized, he talked about it. He's very open and honest. We have these conversations with all his kids that, mistakes were made, but he was young.
Yeah.
And I have to respect him for the man he became and grew into.
Sure.
And understand and put myself in his shoes, I would have done the same thing or probably worse.
Sure.
So there's so much to be learned. And it's not even just growing up in the household. If you talk to your dad now, if your dad's still alive, you talk to him now, there's so many lessons to be learned about transitioning into adulthood and transitioning into being a parent of adult children and trying to still instill that knowledge into them. So, I feel like I've learned so much from both parents in so many ways. And my mom's not here anymore, but my dad is I'm still getting lessons from him. I feel like every time I talk to him, it's something I learn.
Yeah. I lost both of my parents very young in my 20s, but I probably once a week, man, I have a moment where I wonder what my life would be like if I still had access to them. You know what I'm saying?
Me too. 8 years now come April, and I still,
and
there's so many things I wish she was here for so I could tell her. There's so many great things to tell her about what I've done.
Right. And we won't unpack that, but you also bore the weight of taking care of her, which is a totally separate weight and journey that you have to navigate, and I applaud you for, doing what you were supposed to do, but that doesn't make it easy. No. Hey man, this is something that Mel actually brought to my attention or brought to me as a possible topic for the show.
I can be Mel. Let me find some snacks, something to chew on,
or just fall asleep during the show.
Oh,
You got to
Or
lean
you
in
got some
on and
food.
say, you know what you
You got some food around or something.
and
well,
we
my
do.
wife plated my food earlier, so I'm actually quite full.
Did she plate it with a smile though?
Dude,
Yes, she did.
everybody
It tasted
plated
good. I
we
felt the
plated it
love.
plated
You
it with
felt
shard glass and razor blades.
tacks, some thumbtacks.
Oh. And I told her, I said, my feet were a little sore, so we're going to get a little foot rub later on after this show's over. We'll work on that.
Hey, man, sometimes we run into some issues because the truth is we are, an all-male cast on the show. And so when we speak from experience, we speak from our experience with women. Mr. Facts, ain't that some bullshit?
So anyway, he done forgot my role in this show. He done forgot my role.
I thought he was a little slow on that button since he was on the show, but obviously
it caught me off guard.
That was
Hold
quick.
on, matter of fact, let me move myself right up here next to him so I can look at it. What?
That was
What you got to say?
looking like this. That was quick too, Roger.
That was good.
And so with that said, we were talking about the fact that a lot of women, and I'm not attempting to speak for women, I am speaking to the way we often experience women.
In other words, Sean's not being a woman and speaking for men.
Right. But I'm also trying to cut down on the hate mail that we get as well.
Yeah.
But do you feel like
Keisha Rose?
do you feel like there are a lot of women that want to be married but don't want to be wives?
Ooh, you just trying to get in trouble, ain't you, boy?
Hey, you can blame Mel for this one. I get to blame Mel for this. But before you answer, I was unpacking it, myself, and a lot of women may not agree, but the truth is, earning the title of a wife is much more a badge of stature and status than husband. Husband signifies responsibility. I'm not saying that every husband is as responsible as he is supposed to be, but I'm saying that the role of husband implies responsibility more than it does you being celebrated, right? Whereas the role of wife comes with a badge. I mean, even down to the day of the wedding, they will tell you it's the bride's day. The husband.
Nobody
You just
ever
make
asked
sure
to
you show
see my
up.
ring when I got married.
Right. You make sure you just show up. And so
I'm coming down the aisle and they throwing what can they throw? Old phone books out because we get rid of those.
Cans of old English. They throwing cans of old English.
That I decided.
Sending you right to the emergency room when you're done. But so do you think that there is a big problem with that ultimately can create a disconnect or a skewed, perception of what marriage is supposed to look like, because you more want to, because let's be honest, to say that you are a wife says that you have been chosen, that somebody has chosen you to spend the rest of their life with them enough that they want to give you their last name. You know what I'm saying? Like it is a badge of honor and respect and value. Mm-hmm. Whereas husband is not really that, right?
Yeah.
Your badge of honor is if she says yes. That's.
Have you heard the song "To Be a Man" by Dax?
Mm-mm.
Listen to that.
I like that guy too. He has some really unique, interesting stuff.
Man, that song got like 150 million views already.
I may have heard it and just can't remember it right now, but
you got to remember, Sean, there's a root cause to this. Women expect men to be financially stable to date broke women with dependents. As a female friend of mine posted, I didn't post that, but she was like,
I've lived that thing more than once. So
yeah, I need to show you my income, my profit and loss statement while you trying to struggle to pay ComEd.
Right.
That is not fair,
I had
we
a
are
lady
not
I had a lady I was seeing tell me to my face I didn't make enough money to date her because she wanted to go to Dubai every 6 months. Meanwhile, I had loaned her money once and given her money twice. So that's how skewed, the mentality can be.
right.
Around that.
Well, women talk about men that aren't on their level, but they're not even playing in the same stadium for the men that they're trying to get.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
'cause I have a problem with level anyway,
yeah,
which is part
you
of
got you got
some-
Major League Baseball dreams, and you playing in Double A.
right,
T-ball.
Yeah, you
Right.
playing T-ball.
right.
Damn, Roger, T-ball. I was gonna
You
give
know,
at
you
least
know why I said
minor
T-ball?
league.
Because the ball keeps falling off of the tee, and they
Tee.
blaming everybody but them.
Yes,
They
I
don't know
know.
how to put it up there. They don't. Well, we'll get into that.
But how does that happen? Right. And I don't want you guys to get away from being able to share something about the initial subject matter, which is, the wanting to be a wife, but want to be married, but not want to be a wife. But how does that happen? I mean, I have my own beliefs about how it happens, but
It happens because of what people see in online and in the media. And I hate to blame social media for everything, but it definitely played a part in some wild expectations for people who weren't really qualified.
yeah,
Like you want, you talk about marriage and you talk about being this great woman, and you can't quote the Bible and talk about what a man is supposed to do
right,
when you're not even leveling up to being what the person he should provide for.
right.
So you can't hide behind the Bible verses, women. I'm sorry.
Right.
You can't.
And
Tell
what I
me
want
what
to talk about after this is such a perfect follow-up to what we're talking about. Robert, what are your thoughts and experiences with that? Do you find that there are women that are more led to want to be married than they want the badge of wife, be able to say that they're a wife, but they don't actually want to be a wife? And I know that wife can look a whole lot of different ways. It can look what is traditional for one person is not, traditional for another person. But
Yeah, I think that, for me, I I come from a different era when I was married, and I think the women, social media was popular, but I think the girlfriends were more popular. And when I say the girlfriends getting in the woman's ear to kind of tell her, this is what you should expect, from marriage. They not married, or
meanwhile, she's going home.
There's your first problem right there.
She's going home
Right.
to her roles every night.
Yeah, I mean, so I think that what happens is the girlfriends are telling her, he tells you to jump, and you ask him how high. It's those kind of things that we have to pull back and say, is this person really got my best interest at heart when they're trying to give me advice?
Well, here's the amazing thing. I think a lot of times, man, people give horrible advice from a very genuine place. They really think that they're looking
Right.
after you, and they really think that they're giving you some valuable advice, but it's being delivered through a fractured mind that they don't understand is fractured. So,
Well, I kind of think
I
that
remember, not to cut you off, I remember being down south when I was a kid and hearing a man say, your woman don't think you love her if you don't hit her. You understand what I'm saying?
right,
Which is,
yeah,
of course, the most ridiculous shit ever.
right.
But he
Right.
honestly thought that was sound advice, on a lighter
And,
side. Think about
and unfortunately, there are women though, Sean, that felt that too, though, because
Oh,
that's
yeah,
what they had
absolutely.
experienced. So
Absolutely.
they're like, hit me, beat me, show me you love me.
Well, those people find each other. Their energies find each other, and
Mhm.
until it gets beyond control, you don't really know that there's a problem with it or an issue.
Yeah.
I think there's a real phenomenon of the fractured finding the fracture.
Right.
The broken finding the broken. It
'Cause
happens.
I'm a lover. I'm not a fighter.
Yes, we know, Roger. I mean, Robert. Sorry, Robert.
Hey, I said we've been very restrained, Robert, while you were talking about marriage. You just take the win, dude.
Yeah,
Just
really,
take
you
the win.
should just gone because everybody sat on their hands and didn't say nothing while you were talking. We let you have that one.
Let you
Now-
have
Okay,
your
all
moment.
right.
Talk
All right,
about
let me
Brent
have-
Grace tonight.
Now,
I'm
with
going
that,
ahead.
Roger, did you get a chance to share it before I
Not really, but I mean, I think that the person that wants marriage but not a wife, wants to be married but not be a wife, nobody really knows until you've been married. You don't really know what that is, or you've seen it or had counseling, whatever. You don't really know what you're fully into until you're in it. But so that's not really big because nobody really knows.
Mhm.
But I think a lot of people do look more towards the marriage. Just like I think TD said, most people look more towards the wedding than they do the actual marriage. And they don't realize that. I don't care how long you've been dating. I don't care if you've been living together for 10 years. When you actually get married, it does change.
Oh yeah,
And you have to be ready for that. But for women, I don't know. And I'm not sure because I didn't have that issue. I mean, I just didn't have that issue in my marriage. When I got married,
you picked from the 10 proposals you had, and
And selected. I know he gave the rose out to the.
yeah.
Right,
I tell everybody the story.
Detroit, you win. That's what,
Let me tell you something. I tell
Little
everybody. I saw my wife at work, and the minute I saw her, I knew she was my wife, and that was pretty much a done deal.
Yeah,
So,
you've told that story.
Yeah.
were
So,
lucky.
but
You were
yeah,
lucky.
but I do think that the more emphasis is put on being married than actually being a wife. Being a husband and being a wife come with responsibilities.
Yeah,
Different responsibilities. They still come with responsibilities. And people have to understand that, but all that depends on you choosing the equally yoked mate for you. If both of you guys go out and party all the time, then that works for you.
right.
But if you're home and she's still hanging out with the girls and going on the girls' trips to Jamaica and Aruba and all this other stuff, and you at home, and that's not what you do, that's a problem.
And we won't even talk about the fact. That's way too much to unpack. But as women get older, if they haven't been married, then that is something that others wear or put on them as a challenge to their value.
Yeah.
Which to me, I think
you just touched the nerve, Sean. Hate mail.
hey, I told you it was going to be one tonight.
But it's if they desire, if those individuals know that person has desired to be married, but didn't get married, or maybe had a marriage and it didn't work out, then there's that much more pressure and that their own self-value they're dealing with. But you're right.
Yeah.
And
No,
I'm gonna be Sean for a minute. I think that's something that only women deal with, though. I think when a guy isn't married or doesn't get married, he don't have the issue. His boys aren't calling him a failure because he didn't get married. They probably celebrate. They're not telling him all this stuff.
His boys aren't, but his potential female dating potentials are.
Yeah.
They're looking
she's
at you
giving them
like,
all
what
kinds
is
of
wrong
help.
with you? Trust me, because I've never been married and I don't have any kids. People think I'm a serial killer.
But you know what? No, but
Right.
I went through that same thing. But I think you control the narrative, and
as best you can. But like you said, you got the girlfriends in your ear.
Yeah.
I mean,
girl, what's wrong with him? How come?
Yeah.
Woo, 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 woo.
I didn't get married until I was
there's a
about 30.
trigger.
So it's
It's
like
a
when
trigger.
somebody asked me 28, 25, 29, whatever it was, why aren't you married? I'm like, I haven't found the right one. When I find a wife, then I'll choose a wife. And I stand on that. I choose the wife.
Right.
You standing on
It has nothing to do with me.
Roger.
Say what?
You standing on business?
I'm standing on
standing on
business.
your
I
business.
choose the wife. Ain't nobody choose me.
But Sean is right. There's a trigger when you get to that age, and I've been asked everything from am I gay or do I just want to party? Do I want to date 17 women? And I was like, well, maybe at one time I did, but you know what?
You too picky. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, that too.
I'm sorry that I don't want to date someone that has a full beard. Forgive me.
Yeah, why can't you just settle for that woman?
Right.
Just
Buy some clippers and help her manage it and stop being so picky.
Exactly. There was always something wrong with me. And then I realized that it's really something wrong with your ass. Because you keep talking about it so much. It ain't me at all. It's you. So and you're listening to your girlfriends who haven't had a relationship since Clinton was president in the 90s. That's your problem right there, too. Because you're taking your advice. That's like taking life advice from a serial killer. You know, that's like Charles Manson counseling people on relationships and getting along with people. You know, the Menendez brothers counseling about family. That's the equivalent of that. You listening to people.
They host Menendez brothers hosting the family reunion.
Huh? Yeah. That's like, you know, I need to learn to stop lying. Let me ask Donald Trump.
But you know, let me ask you though: is that the person that listens to them? Is it because everybody does it and they're seeking the advice, or is that a weak-minded individual that can't decide for themselves what they want and say, no, you're lonely, you got issues, you're wrong?
I think they're weak-minded, and I think they're weak-minded in the sense that they don't want to boldly profess that they want something that other people think is flawed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They don't
That's
want
part
that
It could be a little of both.
right.
But it's also your circle, though. I made sure that my circle includes single and married friends. Like, you know, I listen to Roger, you know, sometimes, except for the plate and food part. That's a little bit.
I was just about to solo him up there too. Hey, you know what? You say it now, but let me tell you something. About 5 years, when you're like, that person walks in and says, "Can I plate your food?" and it hits you different.
Well, Glenn, I think I might be stuck, but I ain't want to be one of your single friends. Hell,
Really?
I want to be one of your married friends.
You want to be one of my and you will be one of my married friends one day. We putting that out there, Jesus. We putting it out there.
It's been put out there.
I got somebody
before the 90s. It is not going
Sean,
down.
I got something before you, but just give me a couple of days because we're gonna take care of something first before she see you, and then we got just 4 more laser treatments. That's all we got. 4 more laser treatments. You never know nothing. Now Sean ain't doing nothing about this. That's just normal. You know how sisters get down. I told him during the pandemic when the mask came off, just trim it up and line it up, and it'll be good. Don't be walking out here forgetting that you got that little. Don't be turning it on the corners like you do at home watching TV, playing with it. You know
that is mean, Roger. So you want me to be out at breakfast with my wife and she got scrambled eggs and a mustache? That's
not scrambled eggs.
You just handle your little cone, you know.
All you need is that quick trim thing, though, Sean. You can knock that stubble out with a good sharp trimmer.
He said she just got 4 more laser treatments.
4 more laser treatments.
Just 4 more laser treatments. Should be good to go, bro.
But have you ever talked to a woman and you noticed that she got some hair growing?
Oh yeah.
One time, there's Memphis chicks.
I just be scared that I'd be scared in my sleep she gonna do me like that.
No, but like, ain't you scared? Like when you kiss her, she gonna scratch you? Because you think about that stubble be sharp. You know your stubble is sharp when you grow it.
And if they don't handle it, they get that little green tone to it under the.
And women don't know how to handle like a beard. They don't know how to handle stubble.
Right.
They naturally do. So they stuff.
This conversation has really gone left.
So this is why when I go out on dates, Glenn,
he got the trimmer. You line them up, Robert. Robert, line them up.
Hold still, baby. Wait a minute. Let me go get to the end right here.
We're in trouble. We're in trouble.
We need a meeting. Robert said, before we leave, I need you to hit them lips in the spit.
Y'all in trouble. Beyonce producer said we need a meeting. Y'all in trouble.
So listen, I'm glad y'all laughing because now I can be mad for a minute. And I am not speaking for the group. I'm not speaking for the fellas.
Here come the disclaimers. Here we go.
Let's have
if Mel was here, I would encourage him to say the thoughts and opinions of Sean Mason.
The thoughts and opinions of Sean Mason do not reflect Independent Network Television or G Rose Productions.
Thank you.
Or anybody within any 10-mile radius of Sean Mason.
Right.
Let me just put that out there too.
Dude, you know what I am sick of? I am sick of men. Now men can't even speak to a woman the correct way.
Oh, hell.
Like I have seen so many videos in the last 2 weeks, seen so many posts in the last 2 weeks. If another man texts me, what you doing?
Oh, I'm about to say, we can't say what up, girl, no more. Hey,
if another man texts me, good morning. If another man, I saw a couple of videos where, you know, you have the videos with the responses And what the woman is saying is clearly a man putting forth effort in terms of trying to get to know this woman and slow walk the process down. And everything that he does, you're not just gonna text me and like, what else is he supposed to do? Like, how is it that now men can't even try to engage? If you don't try, you lame because you didn't step up. If you get up in the morning, like me, I get up in the morning, I'm up at 6:30. I'm on a very strict, get ready, get out the door thing. If I think about you and want you to know that I thought about you, I can't say good morning, have a great day. Hope you have a great day. There was one little girl saying ick when I see a text that says have a great day or have a great week, ick, you're out of here. And I'm like, really? Like,
so you know what? So I don't think it's that. I think it is. I think they're looking for fantasy. And so what is normal conversation, like good morning, have a nice day, they don't see that because of movies, social media, whatever it is one of these, no, you need to come at me with a line I've never heard before. And you need to bring me.
And one of our, I won't say her name because I don't want to get into a debate, but one of our viewers just said, no, you got to be creative. And I'm like, why does it have to be an audition?
Well, you know what? It depends on what if it's truly an introduction. If it's like hello, good morning, yeah, I'm not gonna get creative with that. It's like, and also because I'm feeling you out. If you need more than just hey, how you doing, good morning, that's all you got. It's morning.
There's no value in the fact that in the midst of my morning process, I thought of you and wanted you to know that you were on my mind. I gotta figure out a way to have a parrot ring your doorbell and give you a note or some shit.
Sean, you was in the middle of shaving and you thought of her, and you were like,
you cut yourself and you like, I bet she don't have this problem with her whiskers. You tell her, hey girl, what you doing?
At the same time, baby.
No, you know what? You want me to bring you a line that you never heard before? Bring me a woman that I've never seen before.
But they have no responsibility. Like,
I'm sorry, but it works both ways. I'm sorry.
It really does. I just find that to be, you ain't gonna what you doing me to death. And I'm like, don't get me wrong. If that's all a dude is doing and he ain't making no effort to try to get you on the phone and have some conversations with you and get you out, I get that. But just the fact that now if a man says what you doing or good morning, that is somehow seen as some lame way of reaching out to a woman. I think it shows how fractured the whole dating scene is, which is why I said it's not gonna happen. Because I'm not getting ready to do the audition like that. I am more than willing to court and pursue and all that, but I shouldn't have to shuck and jive. We're adults. Let's meet in the middle with our mutual interest. I could be going, she ain't said good morning to me all week. She must not be interested, and going about my way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's just gotten so out of hand, man. It's just
women are treating social media and email like you're at the bar approaching them. They want that same effort and that same energy and that same creative zest that you're supposed to have when you're meeting them at the club or wherever we meet women at you guys' age. That's they want that same creative energy. And I'm like,
Glenn, I don't want to cut you off. I'm sorry. We were just asked, do you guys want us to text you good morning every day if we're not in a relationship? See, that's kind of my point. Like, you got to start somewhere. We don't have to be in a relationship. We're trying to establish a mutual interest and a rhythm of communication. So I don't have relationship expectations of you, but it's good to know
you can actually just wish me a good morning and it's okay. Yeah. I can accept it. I'll receive that.
Hey, I was thinking about you.
I don't have relationship expectations of someone, especially when we're not in one. We're still vetting each other.
And we don't go posted it on Facebook. Ick. She just said good morning to me. What she means? She ain't come better than that. She could have said something like, "Good morning. You look handsome. You good morning. Your beard."
On Facebook, you see posts. If this ninja texts me good morning one more time,
yeah,
like, okay, dude, I think you should.
You know what? Though? It may be that. it may be the repetitiveness of it. It may be
That's
like,
what I'm
okay,
saying. Now,
is.
he's not trying to
It's-
move past that.
It's a repetitive.
I 100% get it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Keisha posted something. And Keisha's always right. That's what she told me
I'm
to
glad
say.
that you.
Wait,
Yeah.
let me read this. Keisha is always right. Yeah,
This
Keisha's
one?
always right. She said women don't bother about that if it's the man they really want them to text them good morning. Then
That's
they
right.
ain't they don't have a problem
There
with
it
good
is.
morning.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Because they would be okay with the man they really want not even texting them.
Right.
I
Right.
heard-
Exactly.
And I think that's true because I've never heard that.
Maybe we getting
I've
somewhere.
never heard it either.
I've never heard that.
it either.
I've never
Yeah,
had
And I'm
all
actually
my
about
calls
to
have
come
been
out.
answered.
I'm
Yeah,
about
I've
to
never
come out
had
with
anybody like
I've got
what you mean,
response to
what you
all of
doing?
my text messages.
I ain't never
and
had that.
I'm about to
no.
come out with a journal that we can do. These are the top things that you can say to a woman in the morning.
That'd be a
And
short
the
list.
first
Robert.
one is
I want
didn't
eggs.
I didn't say how long it was. I just said I'm coming out with the book,
But here,
a journal. Just
A
to
journal.
here's
say,
what's
just
funny,
to say, here's what you say. Grand Rising. That's one.
I'm okay with Grand Rising. I'm not a Grand Rising dude. So you
I'm not
say
a Grand
you
Rising
say Grand
person.
Rising to me, I'm gonna say good morning back.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
but I'm not
You know,
offended at your
Because I
Grand
feel like I gotta call you my Nubian princess.
Oh, we on the
Yeah.
Serengeti?
Yeah.
I never understood the
Yeah.
Grand Rising. You know,
Yeah. I feel
That's-
like I
that's
gotta
a
come
black
at you with
thing.
something African.
or the
that's a-
vibration, you
Yeah,
want
that's a
somebody's
black thing,
vibrating
Roger.
on the same.
I mean,
Yeah.
now we wake
Yeah.
up and all you wearing is dashiki, then it was Grand Rising.
Yeah.
but I think that
And I did not mean that the way it sounded.
and I hate to make it
Depends on how the dashiki looks on her.
or off of her. I hate to make it a gender.
Beautiful.
Boy, y'all are on one tonight.
Your eyes just do something to me.
You're amazing in the
They look
morning.
like Sudanese
My queen.
Liverpool.
You got to come up with some different stuff, man.
You
Just
gotta come up with
put
some
it in-
different stuff.
Well, the
Yeah,
other
just-
thing
just-
too, man,
just
is
throw it in, mix it up.
you have to create a culture and rhythm to the way you communicate. It was a while back I was getting to know somebody, and I noticed that their response time to whenever I would reach out was real slow. Sometimes the next day when I would get a response. And I never made an issue of it. I just said, okay, this is the culture that you're creating. And of course, this is something that's going to play into whether or not I think it's wise to continue pursuing trying to get to know you. And as things were really, really fizzling out, as it was, clear we just probably weren't going to, align or whatever, it happened. And they said something like, sorry for the late response. And I said, very matter of factly, it's okay. I'm used to that with you. I'm accustomed to that with you. And they were clearly offended.
You're a little
And I
sleepy
was-
there, John.
And I was, but no, I was just being honest. Like that's the normal culture of our communication. So I really didn't even expect to hear back from you because about 70% of the time I don't hear back from you. I wasn't saying it with malice. I was just saying it as a matter of factly. And so I'm like so I'm wrong now because I spoke truthfully to the culture of our communication. Right?
So
Like,
if you're sending Sean a message, women, we want you to respond in 24 hours. You have an SLA.
Right.
attached.
Yeah.
We need a 24-hour response. Remember that. And if any of us ever sent you a message saying good morning, we actually meant good morning. We didn't mean we want to get with you. We want to get next
Right.
to you. We wanted you to have a morning.
Get a
We
bunch
wanted
of
you to have a morning that was good.
I know, right?
My wife know if I say good morning, if I say hello, if I say what's on TV,
hey, we got.
I look at her.
Right.
Maybe wake up.
Sometimes
Our
women,
time has come.
yeah,
Right.
women,
Need to wake up.
sometimes,
Our time.
sometimes good morning means he wishes you a morning that's good.
That's
That's what that means.
He's about
Okay,
to provide you.
not anything else.
Hey,
A
but
morning that's
here's-
good.
here's a
Hello
question,
means
though.
what, Robert?
Have you guys ever sent a morning message as opposed to a text, like a voice message?
Mhm.
Because sometimes,
Yeah,
you know,
Yeah,
if
in
you do that,
1985.
Are you talking about
He's-
pre-social media?
No, he's talking
no,
about
you
the
just
memo
you just
on your
you
phone.
just take the
Yeah,
memo
yes.
on your phone, and then you
Robert
can
was
just
chiseling
say,
it out on the tablet.
right.
Moses, give me the other side of that tablet. I
said
gotta send the
Moses,
message
wait a
to
minute.
Sarah.
He said, He said with multitude.
You know, Roger, I have a visual with that.
Moses like, wait a minute. I'm writing these commandments. I'm on number 9. Robert's like, no,
with that damn hammer and that damn concrete, trying to carve out this damn this G trips me up every time.
Moses was like, Robert, wait a minute. I'm on the 9th commandment. I'm almost done. No, man, give me that tablet right now. He's like, I ain't got but one more to go. No, come on.
Robert, get a typo. I need a new tablet. Somebody bring me another rock.
Yeah.
This chisel's
oh
dull.
my God.
Man, y'all got to be creative, is all I'm saying. Just be creative.
I understand.
The lover of life says you got to be creative.
I don't mind being creative, man, but I'm not auditioning. We're two adult people with a mutual interest, and if you should be as creative as I'm being. I'll drive it. I'll drive it. I don't mind taking the lead, but again,
You should be creative on the introduction. I mean, creativity later on, that's fine. But just hello, getting to know you, that's fine. Maybe after the second or third one, just to let them know who you are, your personality, what you do, type of thing. I mean, I've done some, just because of who I am, I've done some wild and different things when I was getting to know different people. But
I heard them alphas can be like that.
Well,
wild or different.
Yeah.
The different part for him, but
probably the different part. No, but it some women, and not all women, as I see the comments flooding here.
Oh, I know they hot.
They're a little hot. They're a little bit hot. It's not that all women want you to audition, but some of your sisters do, and you need to talk to them.
Yeah,
you need to talk to them because maybe I don't have time. Maybe I'm actually running to like a job, a meeting, or something else, and all I can give you is that good morning right then. Now, what I can do later is take you to a wonderful dinner, show you a wonderful time, be attentive, and give you a memorable date. But if you're going to hold it against me for the good morning, you never get to that part.
Glenn,
you never get to that damn part.
Some women want you to audition for the right to be rejected by them.
I turned him down, girl. That man came talking to me crazy, talking about good morning.
Good morning. How are you? What the hell does that mean, girl? How are you, girl? I don't know.
Look, after 3 weeks of his good mornings and offers to take me out to dinner, I finally decided I wasn't interested.
We get to reject people too these days. You know that, right?
Oh yeah,
we wouldn't think it. I mean, you wouldn't think
we can.
Oh, hey, man, all the time. No.
Oh, Roger, all the time, Roger. You had that problem always.
Hey, baby.
I'm just a poor, simple Southern boy. I wouldn't know anything about that.
Look, and this is the last angry Sean moment of the.
Well, your last 2 minutes. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
I know, really. He's been angry for 58 minutes.
Right. Yeah. And now he's gonna stop.
Now he's gonna get nice. Now
I'm always accused of being angry, but I'm usually not even angry. Ladies,
Anna should be grateful somebody communicating with you.
No, you didn't.
She's talking about the ladies. She's talking about the ladies, right, Anna? She's talking about the ladies.
I am shocked. I know
you're not talking about us. She's talking about the
little sweetheart.
For the ladies that say there are no good men, you have to own that a lot of these good men just aren't interested in you. So because they're not giving you attention, don't Roger left. Don't create the narrative that there are none out there, because the good ones have assessed you and decided that you come with more than they're willing to deal with. And then you want to go and say, there ain't no good men out here. No, it's some great men out here. They just are looking for something different than what you're presenting.
Go back to your math class and look at the understanding of the common denominator.
Look at the Mendoza line in baseball.
But it's so that's such an out, for a woman who maybe doesn't want to own how she's presenting or own what about her might not be enticing to men, to just say, oh, there's no good men out here, when in fact there are great men out here, but you aren't presenting in the way that they're inspired by.
Yeah.
So
the thoughts and opinions of Sean Mason or Sean Mason's.
Sean Mason's.
Nah, those are Roger too. I agree 100%.
I think I agree.
If all the men are bad, baby, it's you.
It's you.
It's
Yeah.
you.
Hey, we had a whole sermon
It's
about
you.
this in church.
hey man,
If you're the common denominator in all the messed up relationships, then you're part of that problem.
Yeah.
I got a Facebook friend who probably posts something about men on the average 7 times every day. And outside of the horrible grammar, the perspective that she shares, every time I read it, I go, it's clear why you're by yourself.
Well, yeah, because you can't put a subject and verb together. Y'all is not good. It's not the woman I want to be with.
She must got rechargeable batteries in there, bro.
I mean, she can find another broken English speaking brother. It is her perspective.
She can find her equally yoked non-English speaking
Textbook needing brother, but
you is the woman for me.
Hey,
you is.
We got an
I
hour.
sure love you.
Okay. This is the last appearance of Angry Sean for a while. I just had to get that off my chest. It's been
we'll be back in 2 weeks.
Until 2 weeks.
Yeah, he'll be back in 2 weeks.
Right.
We're gonna try to keep him calm for
Hey,
the
look,
for
I should have counted how many Facebook friends I had before we started, so I could see if the number was
watch your
small.
numbers go down.
Yeah, watch my numbers go down. Yeah. So. Anyway,
you know you're not.
No, you're not, Vanya. Get that attitude right, young lady.
Not at all.
Oh, not at all.
You said I was right earlier, Vanya. I screenshotted that.
Vanya
said Roger's right. Whoa.
I know that's an agreement. Yeah.
Hey man, love y'all. Miss you, Mel. 2 weeks, man. We'll be back one more again. Hopefully, I'll have my camera fixed by then. I know I look like
April 6th. Set your DVRs now. We're gonna put out an
6
invite.
a.m.
We're gonna put out an invite, right, Raj?
Yeah. Did I create one already? If I didn't, I'll create one tomorrow. And everything's gonna be. I did talk to our girl already though. So she's gonna be on it and do that. A little bit haphazard given everything going on. So we're good, man. I'm excited. I'm extremely excited.
And thank you all for your support in season 1. You made season 2 happen because of all your support tuning into us at 4:30 in the morning, or if you DVR'd us, whatever you did, however you saw us, you saw us, and it mattered. So please
keep doing it.
April 6th. Yeah, don't stop it. Please tell people about it. WGN, 6 a.m., April 6th.
And don't be mad when we flood your timelines with our promos, because we want to get even more people.
Is anybody new in the comments that has not seen the show at all? Real quick, anybody? I think everybody I've seen has seen it. All right, so I was going to play the trailer, but I won't.
What happens when you live in the city? I just heard about 7 gunshots.
Yeah.
You should have moved your camera
to the women. That's the women you've been talking about.
Right. They're like, come on out, Sean. We know you in there. We know you in there.
They just saying good night, Sean. That's all.
Like, we know where you live, Sean.
Hold on. The few people out of town, even though they can't see it, they wanted me to play. So I'm gonna play I'm just gonna play the highlight reel, the morning roast, and then I'm gonna play our outro. All right.
Come outside with your short ass.
Y'all have a good one. This is for you, TD.
Excited about this opportunity to spread our show and what we've been doing for the last 3 years to even more people, man.
I was excited to be part of this show. I would be even more excited if I didn't have to sit next to Glenn.
Yeah, and I'm gonna need something stronger in this cup if I gotta sit next to Mel.
So Glenn, what do you think about body count?
You know, I bought this jacket for the show. You like it?
Yeah, your berry colored jacket.
Thank you.
What's the body count on the jacket? Don't try to get away from the subject matter.